everyone. Welcome to Belly Bums and Tums. My name's Riva and this is going to be week 1. So we're starting all the way from the bottom and then as the weeks go by, we'll be gradually working our way up. You don't need any equipment for this class, just a mat and a little bit of room to move. Let's go ahead and get started. So we'll start at the back of the mat and we're just going to start with a couple of spinal roll down. So when you're ready, let's take an inhale, reach the arms up. On an exhale, drop your hands down to your sides. Tuck your chin to your chest, let your head and your shoulders get heavy. Right away, pull your belly button in. You're going to gently roll down bone by bone, all the way down to the floor. Really taking your time here, trying to articulate every single vertebrae. When you reach the bottom, bend your knees, maybe add in a little sway, relax the head, relax the neck. And then when you're ready, keep the knees bent. We'll take a spinal roll to stand, head comes up last. So we'll do 2 more just like that. When you're ready, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, arms down. Chin to chest, head and shoulders get heavy. Pull that belly button in. Careful not to lock out the knees here. And then when you reach the bottom, maybe adding in a sway. Good, knees stay bent, spinal roll all the way back up. Excellent, we'll do 1 more. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, arms down. Chin to chest, rolling down. Good, and then when you reach the bottom this time, let's go ahead and plant our hands and walk it out, and we'll come into a plank. You do have the option to come to either a half plank or a forearm plank. We're just gonna hold here for about 10 seconds. Head in line with the spine, shoulders stacked with the wrist or the elbows. And then in 3, 2, and 1, you can come back onto the palms if you were on the forearms and just send the hips back for a quick child's pose. Good, when you're ready, we'll come to a tabletop position. Wrists stacked with the shoulders, knees stacked with the hips. Right away, find your core connection, belly button pulling in, and then on an exhale, we'll tuck the tailbone around through the spine, bring your chin to your chest. And then on an inhale, untuck, let the belly hang, and open up through the chest. We'll just take 3 to 5 cycles, just like this, warming up through the spine, getting the blood flowing. Good, let's go last one here. And then for this next one, we're gonna add in a spinal rotation. So sending your hips forward, underneath, and back. Just creating small circles with the bottom half of the spine. The next time you come underneath, go ahead and switch directions. And if you haven't yet, you can start to deepen the breath. Good, maybe back in a neutral position. Realign if you need to. From here, we'll curl the toes under. Press firmly through your hands. Lift your knees off of the floor here. We're just gonna hover just about 1 inch or 2 off the ground. Just holding here for another 5 seconds or so. Good, go ahead and lower the knees down, send your hips back, take a quick child's pose. We'll just do that 2 more times, so when you're ready, coming forward, curl the toes under, keep your back nice and straight. And then here we go, lifting those knees. Make sure you keep your butt down and your knees bent. Keeping that tabletop position. Good, go ahead and lower down, send your hips back, take a moment, reset. Awesome, and we'll just go 1 more time. So back to your tabletop, curl the toes under, press into your hands, lift those knees and hold here. And gently release, send your hips back. Beautiful, when you're ready, you can come forward. And we'll warm up just a little bit more, waking up through the core with our alternating bird dog. So starting from a tabletop position, we'll start by slowly extending the left leg. And then once you feel stable, you're gonna slowly extend your right arm. And then reverse that, lowering the arm, lowering the leg, and switching sides. Right leg, left arm, and hold. Lowering the arm, lowering the leg. We'll do about 3 more on each side. Really take your time. Try to keep that back foot flexed, hips level, abs tight. head in line with the spine. Good, and on these last few, really kind of engaging that glute as you extend. And let's go ahead and do one more on each side. Really squeezing that glute this time. And last time on that second side. And you can slowly release and lower down. So from here, we'll go into our first circuit. Go ahead and lie down on your back. We'll start with a glute bridge. Stack the ankles underneath your knees. Place your hands on the floor. And then you're just gonna lift the hips up towards the sky, squeezing your glutes at the top. Trying to keep your abs nice and tight throughout this whole movement. Maybe matching with your breath. Inhale to lower, and exhale to press up. Good, just doing a few more here. Excellent, you can lower the hips down, rock yourself up to seated, and from here we'll just flip around and we'll come into a plank hold. So you have a few options here. Option one, taking a half plank. Go ahead and come on into your plank. Option two, taking a full plank from the toes. Option three, forearm plank, which might be nice if you have any wrist issues. Again, just make sure those elbows are underneath your shoulders. And then option three, coming up onto the toes. I'm just holding here for another 15 seconds or so. Keeping your butt down, abs tight, head in line with your spine. Good, from here you can lower down, press yourself up to a tabletop position, and we'll go into a donkey kick next. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Keep your back nice and straight, abs tight. From here, we're just gonna kick that left heel towards the sky and lower down with control. Really activating that left glute, keeping that left foot flexed. And again, try not to drop your head down here, keep lifting your head up. And as you're raising and lowering the leg, try to avoid shifting your weight as much as possible. So keeping your abs tight is gonna allow you to do that a little bit more easily. Good, that's time, you can lower down. We'll switch sides. Have about 10 seconds here, readjust as needed. Again, abs tight, back nice and straight. And here we go, now keeping that right leg bent, right foot flexed as you press your heel to the sky and squeeze your glute. Maybe matching this with your breath, inhale to lower and exhale to press. Just going for about 10 more seconds here. Good, last 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. You can lower down. Go ahead and roll over to your right side. We're going to come into our side plank. If you know where you're going, go ahead and jump on in. I'll talk a little bit about form and then I'll show you your options. So option one, down on the forearms, elbow underneath your shoulder, both knees bent and down. Option two, you can extend that top leg. Option three, legs staggered with both legs extended. And then option four is going to be feet stacked. Good, roll that top shoulder back, crown of the head reaching long. And then you can do all of these variations with your palm down as well. I'll show that on the other side. Keep pressing those hips up, keep rolling your shoulders back. Good, that's time, you can lower down, and we'll switch sides. So I'll show variations with the palm down on this side. Again, getting that wrist right underneath your shoulders, so you have one long line here. Option one, both knees down and bent. Option two, top leg extended. Option three, both legs extended. Make sure you're staying on the knife edge of the foot. And then option four, feet stacked here. Good, breathe in through that shake. Just holding here for about another 10 seconds. Crown of the head reaching long, roll that top shoulder back. Last 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. You can lower down. You have about 30 seconds here to recover, and then we'll work our way back to the top. So we're back to that glute bridge. Lying down onto your back when you're ready. Again, keeping your ankles right underneath your knees. And then being mindful too to keep your knees pointed forward. So they shouldn't be going in or out, they should be pointed straight ahead. Arms can come down to the sides, palms facing down for a little extra support. Find your core connection, tuck the tailbone, belly button pulled in. And then when you're ready, you can start to lift your hips up and squeeze your glutes. Try to keep your back flat throughout this whole movement as well. And then go ahead and take a quick peek at your knees, make sure they're pointed straight ahead. Good, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit, you can bring your arms up above your chest. We're just working the core stabilization a little bit more. Good, breathing and squeezing as you press those hips up. Excellent, that's time. Go ahead and roll over and make your way to your plank. So again, any of those variations that I showed are great. Wherever you're at today is all good. All right, when you're ready, come on up, coming into your plank. Again, abs tight, booty down. So if you start coming here, maybe consider dropping down to the knees. Work on that form. Good, lift your head up so we're not dropping the head down. And find just a little bit of engagement through the upper back here as well. Good, almost there. Awesome, that's time. You can lower down. And we'll go into our donkey kick. So starting from your tabletop position, abs nice and tight, back straight, head in line with the spine. And here we go, starting on that left side. So keeping your left leg in a 90-degree angle as you press your heel up towards the ceiling and squeeze your glutes. Good, make sure you're breathing here. About 10 more seconds. Good, that's time. You can lower down. Take a moment here, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So readjusting as needed. Again, abs tight, back nice and straight here, so we're not arching. And here we go. Going with that right leg. It also might be helpful to curl the left toes under, just giving you a little bit more of an anchor here. Otherwise, toes down is good too. Good, working here for about another 10 seconds. And that's time. You can lower down. And we'll roll over for that side plank. So go ahead and choose whichever option works best for you in this moment. Making sure that you have that elbow or your wrist right underneath your shoulder. And then when you're ready, you can come on up. Right away, roll that top shoulder back, press your hips up. Good, crown of the head reaching long. Breathing through that shake. The forearm's a little harder if you ask me. Good, holding here, about halfway through. Last little bit here, less than 10 seconds. Good stuff, you can lower down and flip around, switching sides. Now whatever you did on that first side, make sure you're doing the same thing on your second side. Take your time setting this up. And then here we go, you can come on up. Good, roll that top shoulder back, crown of the head reaching long. Beautiful, keep pressing those hips up and breathe. Good, starting to get a little shaky here. Holding strong. And a little over halfway through. And that's time. We can lower down. Good. And take a moment, reset. We'll go on to our second circuit. All right, so we're heading on to circuit number 2. You might want to double up on the mat for this one. We're going to take the knees wider than hip width, bringing the toes to touch. So we're making a V here. And then when you're ready, you're just going to send your hips back and thrust your hips forward. I'll show you from this side too. Go ahead and keep going. I'm just going to flip around so you can see from this side. Knees wide, toes to touch. Keep your back nice and flat here. Arms can just be down on the sides. You can reach them out in front and pull. As you're sending your butt back, try to keep those glutes engaged. Good, that's time. Go ahead and flip around and meet me in a seated position. We'll go into a Russian twist variation. So we'll start with the feet on the floor today, and we'll kind of gradually progress this exercise. We'll take both arms out in front, palms facing in. Start to lean back, pull your belly button in, and you're just going to shift your arms from left to right, starting to get into the obliques here. Good, keep your chest open. If you have any back pain here, you should back off a little bit, maybe sit up a little bit taller. Otherwise, if you want to challenge yourself, you can sit back a little bit further. Ooh, good, that's time. From here, go ahead and roll over onto your right side. We're going to go into clamshell. So lying down all the way onto the side, you can take that bottom arm extended up above your head. Make sure your hips are stacked here. Knees are bent, heels in line with the butt, and you're just going to lift that your top leg and squeeze the outside of the glute, so your side butt area. Good, try to keep lifting your abs, your obliques on the bottom off of the floor, so we're not just collapsing here. Good, and then try not to let that top hip roll back, so everything's stacked here. Oh, good, you can go ahead and switch sides. We'll flip around. So again, keeping that bottom arm extended, resting your head, making a little pillow here, knees bent, heels in line with your butt, hips stacked, and then when you're ready, you're just going to open and close. Good, careful not to roll back here. You're going to lose that outer glute activation. I like to just stick my hand on top and feel it out here. Got about halfway through. Good, breathing through that burn, almost there. Good, that's time. Go ahead and push yourself up to seated, and we'll flip around, coming into a forearm plank. And we're gonna do hip dips. So I'll show you 2 ways to do this. Option 1, you can stay on the knees in a half plank, and you're just gonna drop your hips to the left, come back to center, and drop them off to the right. So you should start to feel this in your obliques. If this is good and you want to challenge yourself, you're going to come up onto the toes and do the same thing. Just dropping the hips left or right. Good. Make sure those shoulders stay stacked with your elbows. Head in line with the spine. Keep breathing. Whew, and that's time. Good stuff. From here, you're just going to flip around and lie down on your back. We're going to go for leg lifts. So coming all the way down. Option 1, you're going to take your hands underneath your hips, pressing your back into the floor, and then you're just going to raise the legs and lower down. Now you decide how low your legs go. If you start to have any back pain, or you start to arch through the spine, back off a little bit. So maybe it's only halfway today, maybe it's only the third of the way. We'll be building that strength. And that is time. Awesome, we'll do that one more round from the top. So working your way back up to your knees, and we'll go into that hip thrust again. So I'll show you from the side one more time. Again, maybe doubling up on the mat if you have sensitive knees. Make sure your knees are wider than your hips. Toes to touch, so you should have a little triangle here. And then just so you can see it nice and slow, you're sending your hips back, maybe reaching the arms forward. Glutes are engaged the whole time. Chest is open, back is straight. And then you're just gonna thrust your hips forward and squeeze. We'll start here in about 5 seconds. All right, here we go, arms extended. And then when you're ready, sending your hips back and thrusting forward. Good, maybe adding a little pull with the arms if that feels okay. Try to keep those glutes engaged throughout the whole movement, so even as you're setting your hips back. Good, last 3. Ooh, and that's time. Awesome, go ahead and flip around. We'll go back to that Russian twist. So coming to your seated position, feet on the floor, chest nice and open. Pull your belly button in, take your arms out, start to lean back, and then we'll just rotate left, right. Good, remember if you're having any back pain or any discomfort, you're sitting up a little bit more, and then if you want more challenge, you're gonna lean back. Got less than 10 seconds here. And that's time, nicely done. All right, go ahead and roll over onto your right side, and we'll go into clamshells. So again, bottom arm extended, making a little pillow here, head in line with your spine, knees bent, heels in line with your butt. You're just opening that top leg and lowering down. Good, make sure you're not rolling back here, and then keep lifting your bottom obliques off of the floor, so we're not collapsing into the floor. So nice and active here. Good, maybe matching it with your breath, exhaling as you open, and inhale to lower. Really squeezing that outer glute. Good, over halfway through. Whew, nicely done, that's time. Go ahead and push yourself up and flip around, or you can just switch sides too, if you don't need to see. Again, bottom arm extended, knees bent, heels in line with your butt. I like to take my hand to that top hip so you can feel. Make sure you're not rolling back here. Trying to keep those hip bones stacked as much as possible. Good, checking with the lower obliques, make sure you're not collapsing here. Good, breathe and squeeze. A little over halfway through. That's time, nice job. All right, so we're just going into the forearm plank. So when you're ready, making your way there. Elbows underneath the shoulders, head in line with your neck. If the hip dips are too much today, you can always just hold your forearm plank. Otherwise, you'll start to shift your hips left to right from the knees or from the toes. Good, halfway through. Make sure you're breathing. This is an easy one to hold your breath. And that's time. Nicely done. All right, we have leg lifts next. And this will finish circuit number 2. So lying down on your back. Again, we're gonna go hands underneath the hips today. Right away, press your back into the floor. And then when you're ready, we'll take the legs up, lower down with control, and bring them up with control. Again, maybe you're only going a third of the way today. There should be no arching happening in the low back. As you get stronger, you can start to take them a little lower. And that's time. Awesome work. Bring your knees into your chest and just take a little gentle recovery here, rocking side to side. All right, so we're just on to our last circuit. We're going to be starting with toe touches for this one. So when you're ready, you can meet me down on your back. Kick your legs into the air, back pressing into the floor. And then you're just gonna reach up for those toes and lower down. Keeping space in between your chin and your chest, so we're really making the abs do the work here. This is not a neck exercise. Good, try to keep your abs as flat and as tight as possible. If the legs are a little too heavy, you can always add in a little bend here. That's time. From here, we'll go into our side lift. So you can just come over to a tabletop position. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And this is very similar to our donkey kick. You're going to keep that 90-degree angle. And now you're just going to lift the leg out to the side and lower down. We're working that side glute again. Try to avoid shifting your weight as much as possible, keeping your spine straight and your abs nice and tight. Good, head in line with the spine here, don't drop your head down. And that's time, you can release. From here we'll go back to toe touches, so lying down onto your back. Legs in the air, abs nice and tight. And then here we go, reaching up for those toes and lowering down. Remember, if you need a little less of a load, you can bend the knees. Making sure to keep space in between your chin and your chest. Good, last bit here. Nicely done, that's time. Rock yourself up to seated and then around to your tabletop. We're going back into the side raise, but now on the other side. So back nice and straight, abs tight. And then now we're doing that right leg. So just lifting it out towards the side and lowering down. Working that right or out glute here. And make sure you're breathing. Try to keep stabilizing through your core. And that's time. All right, I saved the best for last. I always do. We're gonna come into a side plank. We're gonna do it all on the palms today, unless you're having any wrist issues, and go ahead and drop down to the forearms. Just know that it will be a little bit more of a challenge. Knees are gonna be bent to start, and you're gonna extend that top leg. Option to either just hold here, or if you're ready for it, you're gonna start to draw small circles, yes, with that top leg. Good, so we're working that side glute again. And then we'll switch halfway, go ahead and change directions. Just very small circles here. Nice, slow, steady burn on this one, almost there. Good, stay nice and active through the core. Last 3, 2, and 1, good stuff. From here, we'll just switch sides. So coming over to your other side, palm facing down. Unless you have wrist issues, then go ahead and drop down to the forearms. Knees are bent to start and stacked. Extend that top leg. Option to just hold here, really focusing on engaging that outer glute, or you're gonna start to draw those small circles again. Okay, keep your hips square, roll that top shoulder back, crown of the head reaching long. Go ahead and switch directions other way. Almost there. Good, less than 10. Whew, last time. Nice job. We're just gonna do one more round on everything. So we're back to our toe touches. Making your way down to your back. You still have about 30 seconds to recover here. Knees into the chest, gentle rock side to side if that feels good. We'll go in about 15 seconds. All right, starting to prepare. Hands underneath the hips, legs up towards the sky. excuse me, we're gonna go toe touches, so you'll need those hands. And we'll start here in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. So you're reaching up for those toes. Keeping space in between your chin and your chest. Making the abs do the work here. Remember, if you need a little bit less, you can bend your knees. Still thinking of pressing your lower back into the mat. Good, try to keep strain out of the neck here. And that's tight, nicely done. Go ahead and rock yourself up to seated. Back to your tabletop position. We're going for that side lift. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, nice flat back. And here we go, going on that left side. And squeezing that outside glute. Good, make sure you're breathing here. Lift your head up, keep it in line with your spine. 10 more seconds. Good, that's time, you can release. Back to toe touches, so down onto your back. Legs in the air. Back pressing into the floor. And here we go, reaching up for those toes and lowering down. You should be getting a nice crunch here each time you come up and reach. Good, exhaling each time you come up. Well, we're halfway through. Yeah, nicely done, that's time. All right, back to tabletop. Side raise on that second side. Take your time setting this up. Abs tight, back straight. And here we go, right side this time. Good, halfway through. And less than 10 seconds. And that's time. All right. Side plank with the leg circles one more time here. So again, taking this palm down. Unless you have wrist issues, you can take it from the forearms. Knees bent to start. Roll that top shoulder back, extend your top leg. You're either just holding here or you're creating those small circles. Good, keep your hips square. Crown of the head reaching long. This is probably the toughest one we've done today. Good, go ahead and switch directions. Good, keep breathing. And less than 10. Whew, that's time. All right, go ahead and switch sides. Setting this up, wrist right underneath the shoulder, knees bent to start. We'll start here in about 5 seconds. You can extend that top leg. Again, option to just hold here, working that outside glute, or starting to create your small circles. Good, keep those hips square to the front. Good, breathing through that burn. And go ahead and switch directions, holding still here. Good, you're almost there, last bit. And time. Whew. Nicely done. You can extend or lower that top leg. Go ahead and lie down onto your back. When you're ready, bring your knees into your chest. And just start to slow down your breath, slow down your heart rate. Awesome work today. When you're ready, plant both feet on the floor. We're going to take a figure 4 stretch from here. So crossing the left ankle over your right knee. Hands are going to come through the legs. Fingers interlace behind your right thigh. Oh, that feels good after those leg circles. So once you're here, try to keep that left foot flexed and try to keep actively pressing your left knee away. So depending on how tight you are, it actually might feel okay just to keep that right foot down on the floor. And then if you want a more stronger stretch, you can start to bring that right knee in towards your chest. I'm just taking a couple deep breaths here. Good. When you're ready, release your hands. Keep your legs the same. You're just going to drop them off towards the right side. And we'll come into a spinal twist. When you're ready, you're just going to open up your gaze towards the left, extending that left arm. And then if you want more, you can use that right hand to pull the legs over towards the right. Just a little more here. A couple deep breaths, bringing that out. Good. And then when you're ready, you can release, uncross. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Right ankle over left knee. Hands come through. Fingers interlace. Good. Once you're here, flex that right foot and press your right knee away. I'm just taking a couple deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, releasing the legs. Keep the legs the same. You're going to take them off towards the left, and gaze is going to open up towards the right. You're using that left hand for a little extra pull here. Try to keep both shoulders planted on the floor. Good. When you're ready, unwind, and then just rock yourself up to a seated position. We'll flip around and make our way to tabletop. And then once you get there, you can curl the toes under, send your hips up and back. We'll come into a downward dog. Just using this as a transition mostly. Use an inhale to send your right leg up towards the sky. And then on an exhale, bring your right knee behind your right wrist. So this is almost just like what we did on our back. Leave the left toes curled as you extend your left leg more behind you. We'll just take a moment here with the chest lifted. And then when you're ready, you can slowly lower down onto the mat. I'm just stretching that outer glute again here. A couple more deep breaths. And then when you're ready, you can slowly walk up. Curl the back toes under, lift your hips. Step your right leg back. Send your hips up and back, downward dog. Inhale, left leg to the sky. Exhale, left knee behind your left wrist. Right toes stay curled under as you extend your right leg. And just taking a moment here with the chest lifted. And then when you're ready, slowly lowering down to the mat. Yeah, then when you're ready, you can slowly walk the hands up. And then a little bit of a different transition. You're just going to roll off onto that left hip and swing your right leg around. Good. Extend both legs out long. Feet flexed. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's take an inhale here. And then on an exhale, you're just going to slowly walk the hands forward and come into a forward fold. Let's keep the chest lifted here, a little bit more active in your forward fold. Just to start. Good. Stretching out the low back here. And then when you're ready, you can drop the chin down, releasing the head. Use an inhale to take a spinal all the way back up to seated. And we'll just stretch out the side body a little bit, and I'll send you along your way. All right, so coming to a seated position, whatever is most comfortable for you. Sitting up nice and tall. Use an inhale to reach your right arm up towards the sky. And then on an exhale, you're just going to start to walk the bottom hand over towards the left. Good, keeping that top arm in line with your ear. If it feels okay, you can take the gaze up. Also, when you're ready, you can gently release, come back to center. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So inhale to send that left arm up, walking the bottom arm out as you tip off over towards the right side. And breathe. Again, and maybe taking that gaze up if it feels okay. And then when you're ready, you can just come back to center, coming back to your seated position. And we'll close it out with 3 cleansing breaths. When you're ready, inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, let it go. Good, 2 more. Inhale. And exhale. And last one, biggest breath of the day. Inhaling. And exhale, open the mouth, let it go. Shake it out a little bit. And I will leave you there.